Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. A really confusing structure on the DAX, not really following suit with what's going on in the US, and it sort of has its own days at the moment. So obviously the adding of the extra 10 stocks to it, becoming the DAX 40 instead of the DAX 30, is having some kind of impact from what we can see. Ultimately, for me, we are still in this area of interest, which is the bottom of this massive what's starting to look like a head and shoulders to me. This is the shoulder, here is a big head, and here is a massive shoulder. So we need to break below the structure. Now there's a couple of levels of structure that you need to pay attention to, and let me just put them in so that we've got them and you can see what I'm doing. I'm basically just, we can actually just use one there, just picking up these tails here. Okay, so we need to break through those before we sort of can assume that we have more downside to come. And what I'm looking at is this bit of structure here, and that's kind of the area that I am targeting, which is around 14,077. I'd round that off to 1400. That would be the downside target at the moment. However, we do need to break through the structure, and every time we come here, look what happens. We get buyers stepping in. So a little bit cautious to be jumping in short here. Ideally, what you want to be doing is wait for the pullback. So let's use a 3 hour rather. So last week we had a pin bar off the structure. Yesterday we pretty much had a gap down, another pin bar. So the buyers are still trying to push this up, but look what is happening. So the first three 3 hour bars, we were making higher highs, and then we got this double top here, and we broke to the downside, which probably, we'll look on the hour now, but that target was hit. Now what we have is an inside bar, but I think this is really just a mini flag for another leg down, then mini flag, another leg down. That's kind of the structure that I think we need to be paying attention to. Right, so hour is what we want to trade. At the moment, the trend is definitely to the downside. You can see moving averages are pointing down. You don't want to be trying to find a bottom here and looking for longs, especially not when we've tested this area so many times. So the logic behind this at the moment is you can see flag, breakdown, flag, breakdown, flag, breakdown. So I would be watching this area here, and then that little pin bar there. So let's just start here. So this is 15,100, and that will be 15,136. That's the area that I'll be paying attention to. And then at the other side of this is I just put a level in there. So if you put that diagonal in there, you're probably looking at this area here. So 15,100 rejection off there, and then you're looking first, more than likely 1503, 1530 or 1500 is probably what's going to hold us up, and we may just go sideways there. If we drop breaking below, then you're looking at this 14,965. Once we're through there, then there's a bit of a gap down to 14,811, and if we get through that one, then it's continuation to 14,077 in my opinion. So we're looking for shorts here, pretty much the same setup as the Dow, and if you look at the 15-minute, you'll see it becomes a lot clearer. You can see the break and then the flag forming. So stick to the 15-minute, I think. Wait for your oscillators to group to the upside. Look for the structure. 15,100 is the first area you need to pay attention to, and start moving down. If we get above the highs of yesterday, which is 15,175, then I expect the gap to close, but then I'd want to see a pullback onto one of these levels here and reject it to start bouncing before even thinking about looking for longs. Okay, so that's kind of my view at the moment, and futures market is relatively flat at the moment. I just want to double check. DAX futures 0.22 up at the moment, and the US markets were massively down yesterday. Nasdaq was down 2% with all the Facebook outages and social media outages and things like that. So I think there's probably more noise coming out of that very soon, because some of the reports I'm reading, it looks like it was a hack. So, and then also there was Facebook data that was released onto the black market yesterday as well. So anyway, let's just wait and see how that unfolds, because that is going to impact the Nasdaq, and Nasdaq is a heavyweight in the S&P and in one or two of the stocks on the Dow. So tech stock could very much continue taking a hammering, which will just bring everything down with it. Okay, so anyway, so this reset could be happening, but if you look at this flag, tails up, tails down, barbed wire, there's no structure here. So be very careful, smaller position size, wait for the levels, wait for the rejection, take the trades on the break of the bar that is rejecting. So in other words, you can watch my Dow video. There's a pretty good setup there, but what you do is just keep your limit order, this block's a limit order, below the bar that is the rejection bar. So if this was a level here, it's there, and if you get another higher bar, then you just keep moving it up. Keep moving it up until you get an area where it is, and then your stop moves above that bar. So it's a really tight position. So basically what's going to happen, if you do get triggered, it's a small loss, but you can keep doing it. You can make 3 or 4 small losses before the actual move triggers. But wait for the structure. That's all I say. Wait for a level. So I wouldn't be doing it here. I'd wait for this level here to be tested. And if I get a pin bar off there, then immediately move my entry below that pin bar and then wait. If it gets another bar up, just wait, get another bar up, then I get another rejection off here, move my entry up to that and wait for it to see if it's going to transpire. Okay, anyway, that's enough for me today. I hope it helps. We definitely are looking interesting here. I think the US markets are going to be a little bit more interesting than the DAX, but there is potential here for a big meltdown. So just keep that in the back of your mind. The bulls are trying hard to keep it afloat, but I think we're going to get the reset we're looking for. Anyway, I hope it helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.